I hired a PI to follow my wife. What he found broke me in ways I can't explain. This is probably the most expensive story I'll ever tell. And no, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about peace, trust, time, things I can't get back now. I'm 34 years old, and my now ex wife, Nicole, is 32. We were married for 6 years together, and we knew each other for nine. We lived in Austin, Texas, Tech City, Brunch City, yoga moms and remote jobs, and microbrews. You get the vibe. She was the love of my life until she wasn't. This all went down over the past year, but I'm finally ready to put it out there. I'm not asking for advice. I just want someone else to read this and go, damn, I'm not crazy. Well, Nicole and I met through mutual friends. She was a freelance UX designer. I worked for a fintech startup when we got married. Everything was solid, same values, same goals. Communication was solid. But over time, things started to shift. I was a hyper social person, and she wasn't. It was subtle. At first, she got super into self growth and started attending these weekend wellnesses, intensives, and energy realignment retreats. She got obsessed with the podcast about divine feminine energy, reclaiming whatever that means. Suddenly, I was the energy vampire in our relationship. I was too logical, too predictable. We used to laugh about dumb stuff. Suddenly, nothing I said was funny. Our sex life slowed down and then it stopped. And then, when I asked if something was wrong, she'd say, "You just don't get the headspace I'm in now." The red flags weren't just red, they were screaming. She kept her phone on do not disturb all the time. She'd leave for co-working dates at coffee shops but come back in a totally different outfit. Her Apple Watch kept buzzing late at night. She claimed it was Reddit notifications. I checked. It wasn't. One day, jokingly, I said, "Are you having an affair with a barista or what?" She laughed too hard. That was when I knew. Not suspected, knew. I told my best friend Miguel, who immediately said, "Bro, hire a private investigator." I was hesitant. It felt extreme, like I was betraying her. But then I thought, she's hiding something, and I deserve to know. I found a local private investigator through a recommendation. Guy's name was Russell, older dude, former cop, very no nonsense. His advice: don't confront her, just act normal for a few weeks and let me do my job. So I did. I acted like everything was fine. I made her smoothies, I rubbed her back, I kissed her forehead. Meanwhile, Russell was tracking her. 3 weeks in, he sent me a folder, Google Drive link, password protected. I opened it alone in my office inside. Photos, videos, timestamps, locations. My wife was having an affair with her alignment coach. This guy, let's call him Jasper, was everything I wasn't. Long hair, tattooed, barefoot most of the time, gave workshops on tantric awakening and ego death. That meet at a yoga studio, leave separately, and then they would end up in his downtown condo. They kissed in parking garages, held hands in grocery stores, laughed over smoothies while I sat at home believing she was finding herself. One video showed her sitting in his lap outside of a vegan cafe, stroking his hair like she used to do with me. I paused that frame. I stared at it for like 10 minutes. I didn't cry. I just felt vacuumed out. I didn't tell her right away. I needed to process. I watched every second of those videos, listened to her voice on wiretapes. She told Jasper, I'm in a marriage. I don't feel safe in emotionally, which is wild because I never raised my voice, never cheated, never withheld anything. After a week, I finally asked her to talk. She sat across from me sipping a turmeric latte like this was just another Wednesday. I said, "I know about Jasper." Her face didn't change. No denial, no gaslighting. She just sighed and said, "I wonder how long it'd take you." That hurt more than anything. Like she made peace with betraying me long before I even had a clue. I filed the next morning. She didn't fight it. In fact, she moved out within a week. She said she needed to transition into her higher self without energetic anchors. She tried to be admissible about it all, even offered to cold journal our healing paths. I said no. That was 6 months ago. She and Jasper are all over Instagram now. They co run a retreat in Sedona called Scared Unlearning. They post shirtless videos in the desert talking about transcending monogamous paradigms, Meanwhile, I go to therapy every week just to remember how to trust anyone again. I've started dating slowly, cautiously, but I won't lie. It's hard. Hard not to wonder what's real anymore. Hard not to hear words like alignment or healing without flinching. What I learned, energy doesn't lie, but people do. If your gut says something is off, don't ignore it. You're not crazy for wanting proof. Hiring a PI wasn't petty, it was clarity. Expensive, yes, but peace is priceless. Some betrayals feel like they come from another planet because the version of your partner that cheats isn't the one you married, it's someone else. And that was a crazy Reddit story I was sent to read. Um, and most importantly, do you know where your children are?